Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me back on my channel. Today we're going to be working on the marketplace, which is located to the right of the waterfall entrance. So welcome to my island, and let's go ahead and go up to our marketplace and get started. There's our waterfalls. If you haven't seen those yet, please check out that episode as I show you how we completed those. And this is the area that we're going to be working with today. I've already moved the houses, so we have Nook's Cranny. We have another house, which is going to be our indoor mall. And we have Able Sisters. I also had completed already a little garden area right in front of our resident services. And I did this because I wanted this area to be squared. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by building my fencing. I'm using the spooky fencing because I think that looks more business type fencing out of all the fencing that I have. And always make sure I leave a space right in front of the door. That way people can come and go throughout the business, the businesses. I'm also going to move this mailbox out of the way because I want this to look more like a business and not just a house. And I think the mailbox just makes it look too much like just a house. Make sure you check back because I'm going to show you how I turn the inside of this house into the indoor mall. And we'll have those coming up within the next few days. We will start working on that little series. And Julian decided he wanted to come over and check out what we're doing. Hi, Julian. How are you? So now that I have talked, hopefully they'll move away. Here we go. So I'm going to just grab some more spooky fencing. You can do 50 at a time, and I had already pre-decided how many I'm going to possibly need. So that's why I had that the way I did. So now I'm going to continue on to Able Sisters. I am making each one have its own private yard that I'm going to be adding decorations and items into. And this also gives it more, that city building, small city build feel to it. So I'm just go up here to the side. That way it's closed in. And do the lamppost. I can't go any further than this. With the lamppost, I'm making it straight on. I do try doing it from the other side, but then I have the house in my way. And as you can see, I can put one there, but I missed a spot. So an easy way of doing this is just putting it sideways and then putting the other one, and it makes it both of them go straight. Next, I'm going to do the fencing around Nook's Cranny. And I really want to have 2 entrances for Nook's Cranny. So I decided I'm going to leave a space right there. So we have entrance from the back, and we have an entrance from the front. The space in between the businesses, I plan on putting a sidewalk. That way my residents and my visitors have somewhere to walk. I also want to make sure that I'm putting the fencing around next to the garden because I want people to just be able to run through my flowers. And this also gives it its own private little yard. And you're probably wondering why I have Nook's Cranny so big compared to the others. And that's because we're going to be next putting a DIY garden in this spot. So I'm just trying to do the fencing. It does not seem to want to work for me. I'm going to try again. Julian wanted to come see what I was doing. Let's try this area. There we go. Now we got it going. And we're just going to keep going. So, is there a special fencing that you like to use? I use the spooky fencing a lot. I use the gate. I try to make different areas have different fencing throughout the game just to kind of define that area. I really like the steel and the columns. If you can't tell, I've used that around my city as just kind of the border around the city. And then I use a lot of the wood fencing over in the farming area. It seems like, the city fencing is kind of a more cold feel as than the country or farm area that we're going to be working on here later is more of a warm type feeling type of fencing. So what's your favorite fencing? Please comment in below and let me know what your favorite fencing is. So now I'm just kind of trying to decide what I want to do now that I have this area all fenced in. I'm checking all my items that I have. I'm going to pull up my Island Designer now. And I'm going to start working on the DIY garden. So this area right here is going to be my DIY garden. And I'm going to start by using the dark path dirt. And we're going to do 2 different colors in the rows of dirt that we're going to do. And the reason I do this is just because it makes it look more like a 3-dimensional area and more like a garden, I think. Because, when you look at a garden, sometimes the rows do look a little different depending on what you're growing. So I did 1 row and I skipped a row, and I'm going to come and do another row before I switch over to just the dirt path. And you can already start to tell that it is starting to look kind of like a little garden. So now I'm switching to the dirt path, and I'm going to make 2 rows of it as well. And I know this area is kind of small for giveaways, but this is just stuff that I leave out every day. When I do my major clean out, then that's going to go in other areas. I try to get items throughout when I see them in Nook's Cranny. If I have the money, I always buy extra of everything, even if I don't need it, because that way you can help other members on our Face group page if they need help. It's just nice to help people. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sign. So I'm going through my custom designs. A lot of these other people have made, and you will be seeing the custom design codes for these in the future as we use them. And I will post the custom design code for this one as well in the bottom of in the description. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start placing the DIYs. I don't have as many as I normally do for the DIYs, so I need to make sure that the way I'm placing these, it just kind of gonna look. But Margie decides she needs to tell me something. Oh, she's got something for us. What does she have for us today? Oh, we got some cyber shades. That's so awesome. Thank you, Margie. I love when they give me free things. It might not be something I can use, but maybe someone can. So now I have cyber shades if anybody needs them. So I decided, like I said, I don't have as many DIYs as I normally do. Sometimes this is completely full and overflowing. And that's when I invite people to my island just specifically to try to learn some new DIYs that maybe they don't have. So now I'm just going to go ahead and place all of the DIYs I do have down. I'm leaving a space in between just to give it a more of a full look. And then as I get more, I can just leave them in the places that are blank. So I'm just going to keep dropping these last couple ones into these spots. I was so excited when I got that stone lion dog. After I had actually found someone to make them for me, then I got that DIY. I was looking for several weeks for the stone DIY dog and could not find it. Someone made it for me. They didn't have any extra to the DIYs, but made it for me, and then shortly after that I got it. Seems like that usually happens for me. So the next thing is I want to try to make this house look a little bit more like a business, but I don't want to add too much to this yet. I haven't decided what I wanted in this yard. I might actually do an update on this video and show you if I add anything else to it. But right now I'm just going to add a sign that says we're open. And the next thing I'm going to work on is our Able Sisters. And I have quite a few things I want to add to this because there's a lot when it comes to sewing and making things. And Able Sisters, of course, is the crafting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a loom here in the back corner. This is kind of like a spare one if anybody needs it. And then I want to add some projects that they're working on, some dresses or some outfits. So I go in here and I'm trying to decide which ones I wanted. A lot of these were already ones that were in here for the game or that people had made. And I know my daughter had made some, and I was trying to figure out which ones they were hers, but she was not here, so I kind of had a guess on which ones they were. I couldn't figure it out. So I decided just to go ahead and pick some designs, which I decided to pick the Anna Frozen one, which I will have that design code in the description as well. And then I will also have the other Anna codes as well. I have 3 different codes that I've used for the princess dresses. So if you have a little girl, or if you want to wear them yourself, that the princess dresses, these are beautifully done. And I will give the credit where the credit is definitely due, and get those codes on the description, so that way you guys can click on them as well. So I decided to place another loom here in the corner. I know it kind of hides the dresses a little, but I want this area to look full and busy. So the next thing I want to do on this side is add a few little things. So I decided to put in a little outdoor sewing area, so that way the Able Sisters can come out here and work on projects when the weather is nice, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to be stuck indoors all day, and I doubt they do either. So I'm just going to use a little console table that's going to be part of our decorating, and I have a little sewing project. But then I start thinking, I'm like, I think I have the sewing machine that I'm going to need to put down, and it's going to need to go on something. So that's not going to work. So I go ahead and I move this back out a little. And I decided I'm going to use this for my sewing machine because it needs a bigger table. And I place my sewing machine down. Then I have a little side table that I'm going to use, which is called in the game the Antique Mini Table. So I'm going to place the Antique Mini Table right beside our console table. And here I'm going to put the sewing project. And of course we need also a chair, because who wants to stand up and sew all day? I think that'd be absolutely exhausting. So I have a little folding chair that I'm going to add that they can take down and put up. So there is our Able Sisters area. I absolutely love it. So, and we have then our next cranny area done. And again, I have not done much in front of the other indoor mall, but I really wasn't for sure still what I want to do there. I'm still deciding. If you have any suggestions or ideas, please comment below and let me know what you think. The next thing I'm doing is the sidewalks, and I'm doing a terracotta stone look on for the sidewalks, just because I think it kind of pulls everything in this area, all the colors from it. So I'm just going to go through here real quick, and we're going to make all the sidewalks. I have one going directly to our little garden and to resident services. I have another one that's going to go straight up to Nook's Cranny, and that gives us a little walkway there. And I decided to go ahead and make a little walkway right to our DIY garden. And then this one is going to have a double walkway because I want people to be able to use this as one of the main come-throughs from resident services. So I'm just going to go through and make sure that I am including all my little paths into each place, so that way they're completely visible when people are walking around. And I love that it gives us that up view when we're going behind buildings, so that way we don't guess on where we're at. And I'm just going to go back the other way now and make sure I include the entryways to the businesses again. So I really like this, the terracotta flooring with everything here. Like I said, it kind of brings all the colors from the businesses and that, and the decorations that we've used all together. I think it also warms up the area a little, because with the stone fencing and the spooky fencing and that, I didn't want it to feel too cold. So I thought this kind of warms it up as well. Just finish here at Abel's. And this little spot. And then this build could be done, but I wanted to try to add next into our area these beautiful market banners, just to give this space a little bit more area where I can show off that there's something special here. So I have this marketplace banners that are available right there. But I didn't want to block any of the sidewalks. I thought, well, I'll remove the fence and push it in. But unfortunately, the space for the banner needs is too big. So then I removed the next piece of fence, and I thought, well, I'll try to put it up there now. And then it went sideways on me. And so I fixed that. And I like that there, but I really want my fencing there, as well, because I wanted it to look completed for the fencing. So I thought, well, I'll put the fencing behind it. Unfortunately, that does not look good. I don't like that. To me, it just looks off having that fencing back so much. So that does not work either. Of course, Julian comes back over to say hi. Hi, Julian. So I thought, well, now what do I want to do? I can't push it over, any further, unless, again, I'm blocking part of the walkway, and I didn't really want to block any of the walkway. I wanted it to be smooth entry and out, or exits. And even though I can get through there, with not too much problem, I didn't like the way that looked. So I thought, well, I'll remove some of this fencing and push it back. But again, it needs too much room, so it wouldn't just go straight back. So I thought, well, push it over. Let's see what I can do. If I can push it up and then push it back over the other way. And again, it just doesn't want to work. So I decide to try to remove more fencing. I thought maybe if I only have one piece of fencing there, at least it's still fencing, and then I could block that in. But I thought, well, we'll see. I'm going to try to build another stone fencing. But I couldn't get a piece of stone fencing to go where I wanted it to go. And again, I just didn't like the gap that it was creating. So the next thing I decided to do is leave that alone for a minute, because I was getting a little bit frustrated. And so the next thing I decided was to try this side to see if I could get this side to look good. So I went and took out a piece corner, but it would not go straight because there was not enough room. So the next thing I decided to try this way to get it to go straight. And again, it wouldn't do it because I didn't have enough room. So at this point, I was getting very frustrated because I didn't want a lot of the fencing gone. So I put my fencing back, and I'm just deciding, I'm like, don't think I'm going to use this marketplace banners right now till I find the best location for them, because I like the completed look I had before, and I didn't want to take away from that. So Margie came over and to see what I was doing. And I'm just in the process of trying to build my fencing back up. So this is what I decided just to go ahead and stick with. I thought maybe over here, because I don't have anything in this little corner, I could place one. But again, it only would go sideways. So I gave up on my marketplace banners. I thought I'll work on them on somewhere else because I know I want to use them somewhere. So this is my completed marketplace. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit thumbs up, check out our other videos, and thank you for visiting Taylor Island. I hope everyone has a great week or day, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye!